What's up, Zoe babies? It's your girl Tempthaitian, and I'm back with another video. If it's your first time, welcome. And if you haven't subscribed, subscribe, because temptation is just irresistible, period. So today I'm just going in with some chapstick to start things off, and this marks look 2 of our Valentine's Day Look series. So I'm going to start the process off by going in with the brows. I'm going to be using the Kiss New York Professional Top Brow Auto Pencil in the color brown. I know I usually like to do my brows in black, but I thought for this look, since we're incorporating purples, I didn't want the purples to mix in with the black for this look. I wanted it to be a little on the softer side. So here we go. So now that we've filled in our brows, we're going to smudge out the beginning of our brows with the opposite end of the brow pencil. And then I'm going to go into the Maybelline Instant Angel Wine Concealer in the color Hazelnut, just to clean up the bottom of my brows. For the top of my brows, I do like to go into my foundation color, but we'll just get into that further into the video. Now, before we get into blending out that concealer, I like to dab some of that concealer at the beginning of my brows to further blend it out. As you can see, you want your brows to look like cousins, not siblings. And then I take a e.l.f. fluffy concealer brush, and I use that to blend out that concealer. You'll see how well it does that now. At this point is when I will be carving out the top of my brows with my foundation. Today, the foundation I will be using is the Kiss Professional Pro Touch Liquid Foundation in the color Cognac. I feel this foundation complements my red undertones and yellow undertones, and it matches my chest and my hands beautifully. So you will see that process here. And the same with the bottom concealer. I like to take a fluffy concealer brush to blend it out into my skin before moving on with the rest of the process. After carving my brows and blending it out, I proceed to prep my eyelids with the NYX eyeshadow primer in the color white. I'll insert images in the video when necessary. But for my transition shade for my eyeshadow, I will be using the Morphe 35P palette. I will insert images when necessary, and I'll be using this purple color, and I'll just dab that until it reaches the pigment that I'd like. I want to apologize because I forgot a step before beginning with eyeshadow. I wanted this look to come out clean and neat, so I placed some painter's tape on my eye, well, on the angle of my outer tear duct to my brows, just so it can give that clean, professional look in the end. So before you start your eyeshadow and after applying your eyeshadow base, you can do this step if desired, if you'd like to also achieve that clean, professional look without having to use extra concealer. Now I'm going into this light pink color in the same Morphe 35P palette over top of that transition shade, just to blend it out so there's like no lines of demarcation, just so you know, give it a even blend. And I'm gonna go back and forth between my transition shade and this shade, this lighter shade, I should say. And what's interesting to me is that in the palette, it does look kind of pink. Well, it did to me, but on my eyes, you can see it's giving a strong purple, like a strong lavender or lilac pigment. So really may be a purple color, but it looks pink to me. Anyways, I'll indicate which color I use in the image I insert. Next, I wanted to blend that color into my brows. So I used the NYX Ultimate Shadow Palette in the colors Brights. And I used that even lighter lilac shadow. And you'll see that in the end, it really helps to bring out that blend out that transition shade and the shade I used to try to blend out that transition shade without being so harsh with the purple. Now I'm going back in with that white NYX eyeshadow primer, and I'm just dabbing my fluffy concealer brush. I have two, by the way, one to blend out my normal concealer shade and the other one for instances like this. So I just dab a little bit onto the brush. A little goes a long way, and I do not do this in any specific way because I kind of want to give a soft crease, like a soft cut crease look. So I just dab it kind of in an unorganized fashion, but pretty much in like a half crescent moon shape. And it doesn't really need to be perfect because you're gonna go back in with your transition shade just to bring that pigment back out, but you just don't want any like harsh lines of demarcations like you would have with a normal cut crease. This is the fun part for me personally. So I go in with this beautiful lilac shimmery shade in the 35P palette, and I use a flat synthetic brush just to dab on top of that eyeshadow primer we had placed on top of our transition shade and all over our lid. And I'm gonna dab it until all of the base is covered and enough pigment is showing, for my liking. And if you want to get even more of a pigment out of shimmer shades, you can spray your setting spray or just wet the brush in any way you can possible. I wouldn't recommend using oils, but that's besides the point, just to get some more pigment out. But I didn't feel like that was necessary for me because I was going to be layering some micro glitters on top of it anyway, so you'll see that as we go along. I feel this part really brought the look up to the next level. So this is what I was talking about. I used the Stila liquid glitter eyeshadow in the color silver, and it really added that that perfect touch to that glitter purple shadow. I feel like there were already silver glitter accents in the purple shadow, but this was just perfect. The glitters matched the glitters that were already on the shadow perfectly, and you see how beautiful that brought it out. It's not too overbearing, it doesn't overpower the lilac, and you can still see it, and you'll still be able to see it as we go on throughout the look and as I go on about my day. But I'll give you a glimpse of how it looks when I finish layering it on top of my lid. I wanted to bring more depth to this look, so I go in with this dark brown, like this brown black shade in the 35P palette, and I just go on the outer tear ducts or the outer edge of my crease, and I just really try to bring some additional depth to the look. So the way I'm doing it is I'm dabbing that color in the outer corner of my crease, and I kind of bring it over top of my crease and slant it into like the shape of a liner, and I just continue creating that shape with that color until I reach my desired how can I say this, definition. And I do that on both eyes, of course, but this is like the step before I put my liner on, and you'll see how the results look with this technique. With my transition shade that I used in my crease, I lightly go over that brown black that I put on the outer corner of my crease, just to give it a smoother finish, smoother look. Like I said, for this look I didn't want any lines of demarcation, but I did want a lot of definition. Now here is the moment of truth. Now I'm used to doing liners, but I don't know, I still find it to be maybe the second hardest thing to do on my face, but I get it done. When I originally put this liner on, this is the elf liner that comes in the little pot. I'll show you a picture. I can't really remember the name off the top of my head, but this is probably the most nerve-wracking part, because you want your liner to come out perfect. You just did all this work and shadow work on your eyes. You don't want to have to start over, and I'm a perfectionist, but you just got to learn to breathe, take your time, and trust the process, because I really did like how this came out, and you'll see. You just want to make sure that you're taking small, light strokes until you reach your desired angle, and you don't want to take this all the way out like a cat eye. You just want it to end right where you had put that brown black shade in your outer duct. This is the reason why I did that in the first place, because you don't want a line of demarcation. Like I said, the brown black is going to blend seamlessly into it, especially considering we're doing another liner on top of this. So I'm going in with my P. Louise Bright pink, the eyeshadow base in pink, excuse me. I was really nervous about this because the liner I wanted to use was, I guess, dried out, so I had to use this eyeshadow base instead. It worked great in my opinion. I did just have to go back and forth between this and the liner to clean it up. This did take me a while, but like I said, with patience and small strokes, you get it. I'm using an angled paintbrush to achieve this look, but I would have been perfectly fine if I used like a fine tip paintbrush, like, you know, like the nail art brushes. Yeah, those work as liner brushes too. But I still feel like I achieved this look. Just take your time with this, and you could use any desired color you want. Just make sure when you finish applying the base that you top it off with a matching shadow, as you know, as accurately as possible, because you don't want your base to crease anywhere. But I didn't have any issues with that, and I don't think I did it perfectly, but you'll see that in the end. Okay, I think I finished on my eyes by now. So I proceeded to remove the tape, obviously. I'm funny. But yeah, after you remove the tape, you'll see how clean like the ends of my eyes are. I think this look was so pretty. But I wipe off any excess like eyeshadow base under my eyes. And then after wiping the eyeshadow base, I set my face, or I said I set my face, I'm sorry. I prep my face with the NYX Angel Veil Skin Perfecting Primer. After going in with my primer, I go in with my foundation, and like I said earlier, I'm using the Kiss Professional Pro Touch Liquid Foundation, and my color is Cognac. I blend that in, and then I proceed to use my Instant Age Rewind Maybelline concealer in the color Hazelnut. With concealers, I like to go in first with the color that's closer to my skin tone, and in this case, that's Hazelnut. It's like maybe 3 shades lighter than my skin tone. I let that sit for about a minute or two. After it's sat on my face for about a minute or two, I blend it out, and then I go over top of that with the same brand of concealer in the color Caramel. While the lighter concealer is sitting on my face, I'm going in with my contour shade, and I'm going to be using the Anastasia Beverly Hills Stick Foundation in the color Cool Earth. And I'm just going in the points of my face I'd like to deepen. I didn't get it on camera, but I also like to put this on the sides of my nose to cut my nose. And after I do that, I like to blend that out with my contour brush. Anything that is a liquid, I like to set with a powder. So I will be setting all of this with the powder, and you'll see that in just a little bit. To set my face, I'll be using the Black Radiance True Complexion Loose Setting Powder in the colors Honeymoon and Cocoa Kisses. I use the color, I believe this is Honeymoon, the darker shade, on the darker parts of my face, which is like my contour, the rest of my face, etc., etc. And for my highlights, I go in with, I believe Cocoa Kiss is the lighter shade under my eyes, my T-zone, etc., etc. And then after this, we'll be going into the Black Radiance True Complexion Contour Palette in the color Dark to Deep. And then I go in with that contour shade over my contour again, just to deepen it. And I bake under my eyes, as you can see. I line my bottom waterline with a yellow pencil from ColourPop. Unfortunately, I couldn't catch the completion of the look, but I did go in to the Mattiful palette in the pink color for my blush. And for my highlight, I did go into the Anastasia Beverly Hills Sugar Kit in the color Starburst for my highlight. I used setting spray, and I used the black lip liner as well as this purple matte lipstick, and I went over it with the Maybelline. I'll insert pictures of the lip if I can, but this is what it looks like in a darker setting. You can see the glow is real, sis. The glow is real. This is so cute. It's nice and soft, a pop of color. And I don't feel like it's doing too much, but it might be a little too much for my other girls. But let me know what you think of this look. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. Comment what else you'd like to see and what else you're looking forward to in this look series. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.